2013年迎新春晚会的现场，大家看到非常丰盛的晚宴了。然后今天我们非常荣幸能够报道，我是华人网络电台的记者。
Prime Minister and Jason Kenney will now dot the eye of the dragon and lion and make them alive.
好，我们现在请四位贵宾进行醒狮典礼。
Jason Kenney again, Carrie Lynn Finley, Wei Young, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's a real pleasure to be here this evening with you celebrating Chinese New Year in the province where the Canadian Chinese community first took root. The community here in Metro Vancouver is second only to Toronto's in size, but second to none in community spirit. I'd like to start off by offering a special acknowledgement of two of my colleagues from this community, Minister Alice Wong and Member of Parliament Wei Young. In 2011, I was delighted to appoint Alice, who unfortunately can't be with us here this evening. I was delighted to appoint her Minister of Families are gathering to share delicious meals, meticulously prepared houses, richly decorated with flowers and with misfortune put out of mind. It's a time to reflect on the year behind and to anticipate the year ahead. And I'm going to come and talk about the future in just a moment, but I do want to spend a moment reflecting on the past. I know Jason already spoke about this, but when I think about the Canadian Chinese community and how successful it is, how vibrant, how integral to Canadian life, it's hard to imagine just how difficult things were within the span of a lifetime. I am, of course, as Jason just did, I'm referring to the head tax and the exclusion of Chinese immigrants, shameful acts that produced extreme hardship and divided families. That's why in our first mandate, our government issued a full apology to the living victims of those misdeeds, along with symbolic compensation. And it's why we have funded nearly 30 projects to educate Canadians about this sad past part of our history. We cannot change the past, but we can learn from it and build a better future together. That is exactly, friends, what our government did. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as we move forward as a great country, we do so with shared hope and common values. Values that have made this community so successful. A strong work ethic, commitment to family and education, self-sacrifice. Today, we say goodbye to the year of the dragon and welcome the year of the snake. We are reminded that the snake is wise, a symbol of good fortune, hard work, prosperity, sound financial management, words that could have been taken right out of our economic action plan. Let me just say that Asia looms large in Canada's economic future. I know this matters to many of you. It's why I made my second trip to China just a year ago with the Shan, and why our government works hard to forge deeper ties with that economy, which is already one of our largest trading partners. Like the almost 24 business agreements we signed while we were there in China, agreements worth almost $3 billion. Mesdames et messieurs, permettez-moi de terminer en vous disant que ce n'est pas seulement l'année du serpent. Au Canada, c'est aussi l'année du panda. In fact, speaking of that trip to China, let me just observe that this is not only the year of the snake in Canada, it is also the year of the panda. 2 pandas, in fact, under a 10-year agreement we signed when we were in China. These 2 pandas will spend 5 years at the Toronto Zoo and then 5 years at the Calgary Zoo. And of course, I've lived in both of those great cities, and I know that when Shan and Damao leave us, they will feel like true Canadians. And what a wonderful feeling that is. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to detain you any longer from your supper, but I want to thank you for your kind invitation and for allowing me to wish you all the best for a healthy and prosperous New Year. Happy New Year. Bonne année. Gagne Petro.
To be one of the best in the world.
非常感谢总理阁下。
Tonight, as you can see, we have a very special presentation. I was actually with the Prime Minister in China last year, with Alice as well, and when we signed this agreement. So tonight we have a very famous artist, Mr. Lam Packler. Mr. Lam is prominent and accomplished, and whose works are seen in exhibitions and museums throughout the world. He's used his great talent to commemorate this historic agreement that will bring the giant pandas Damao and Shan to Canada. Mr. Lam is now presenting his work to the Prime Minister.
好，我们接下来这位非常杰出的书画家林百良先生，为总理先生献上他的新作品，叫做《和谐兴邦》。
Thank you, Mr. Lam.
我是这幅和谐兴邦鼠猫画的作者，恭祝大家身体健康，舌龄进步，全家欢乐。
是刚才今天晚上第一次认识我们移民部长，也是大家非常感兴趣的一位官员。我说这一位部长呢，我有点不敢认识。 我就怕我们合影传出去以后呢，大家都认为我有后门，有真正的一套，所以我在这里声明一下，没有后门。有什么问题你还是直接找他吧，这个人真好说话。他有一个外号叫笑佛，我们欢迎加拿大移民部长。
恭喜恭喜，新年快乐！或许看加拿大移民部长。Better watch out. I'm trying to get his job, all right? A long way to go. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, parliamentary colleagues, Carrie Lynn Finley, James Moore, and of course Wei Young, in absentia, Alice Wong, who couldn't be here tonight. Friends, it's great to be back to celebrate Lunar New Year with you all in the presence of Canada's great and strong leader, a man who has demonstrated over and again his close friendship with Canada's Chinese community. One of my proudest moments in politics was working with the Right Honourable Stephen Harper as he made the official apology to Canadians of Chinese origin for the injustice of the head tax and the Exclusion Act, demonstrating that he, unlike any other Prime Minister in our history, understands the central role of people of Chinese origin to Canada and to Canada's prosperity. And I want to say how, as Minister of Immigration and Multiculturalism, how this country will never be able to adequately repay Canadians of Chinese origin who have brought such dynamism and entrepreneurial drive, who punch above their weight in contributing to our economy. And I also have to say, I actually don't think that we would have a majority Conservative national government were it not for overwhelming support from Canada's Chinese community. Friends, I want to invite you to please join with me in welcoming to the stage a man who has led Canada through uncertain times as we see countries in other parts of the developed world struggling to keep their head above water. Canada is leading the developed world in growth as a stable place that people from around the world want to immigrate to. He is a man who has led some of the most important immigration reforms in generations to renew this country as a land of opportunity for newcomers from around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, please join with me in welcoming to the stage Canada's Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Stephen Harper.
I just want to say this. Jason Kenney, proud to be introduced by him, the best immigration minister Canada has ever had.